Hey, what is up you guys? Brandasauresrex here, coming at you with another S.H. MonsterArts review. So today we're going to be looking at the S.H. MonsterArts Mecha Godzilla. So before we move on, I want to just note two things. One, I am getting over a cold. So if I sound a little stuffy to you guys, I do apologize. There's nothing I can really do about it. I do want to have a video out for you guys for this week. But besides that, I briefly do want to go over Mecha Godzilla's history. And the reason why I did Mecha Godzilla directly after doing the Mecha King Ghidorah review is because their history kind of coincides together. So after the death of Mecha King Ghidorah, his body is laid to waste in the city. And basically the humans find the body and they salvage the mech body parts and they use it with their own technology to create Mecha Godzilla. And they also combine Mecha Godzilla with something called the Garuda, which is a failed X-wing fighter jet thing that they use and they combine together so that they can become Super Mecha Godzilla. Unfortunately, I do not have the Garuda, so I cannot show you what Super Mecha Godzilla looks like in the S.H. MonsterArts line, but if I remember in editing, I will put up a photo somewhere around now. It'll be up on display for you. So now that we have the history out of the way, now let's take a look at Mecha Godzilla's box. So now that we have the box out of the way, we can briefly take a look at the first set of accessories. And this figure comes with a lot of accessories for one of the first S.H. MonsterArts to be released. Actually, the second S.H. MonsterArts to be released in the line. So first he comes with his base, a Act 4 display stand, and a beam effect. So basically what you're going to want to do is attach the Act 4 stand into the base and then attach this to the beam effect itself. Very simple in itself, nothing really more needs to be explained. So here we have the beam effect attached to the stand itself. Pretty cool. For S.H. MonsterArts standards, this is a very different from everything else. Usually you get one of the clear Act 4 stands, and this is just an actual display base. It's something different. It's green. It breaks it up from the rest of the line. This is something we really don't see. So something just to note and to be very careful with when placing the beam effect in the mouth of Mecha Godzilla, just don't. That's the best advice I can give to you. If you're going to do it, and you need to necessarily do it, just be very, very careful. I have heard numerous reports of the teeth breaking off from people forcing the beam effect into the mouth. So for the next set of accessories, Mecha Godzilla comes with interchangeable parts to get Mecha Godzilla into flight mode and into attack mode, basically. So the first accessory I want to show off is this one right here. That basically has nothing to do with the flight mode. It has to do more with an attack mode Mecha Godzilla can get into. Basically at the stomach right here, it is detachable and you plug that one in, and basically you have to pull Mecha Godzilla apart by grabbing him like this, and this is the scariest thing in the world, and pull him apart, bend and twist until he comes apart, and then pull this down like so. Let me move his arms out of the way. And pull this out. After pulling that out, you pick this thing up and you kind of slide this into place. After sliding that into place, you can plug him back in. I'm not going to plug him back in just because I'm going to change this back so I could get Mecha Godzilla into flight mode. But basically this is what it would look like. Very cool. I'm glad that they decided to make this. I wish they could have made it that you just pulled this back and leaned this forward, and then you could have pulled this out without having to pull him apart. Because I feel like over time, with pulling him apart like this, you could pop this itty bitty peg right here that is holding him together. So now let's move on to the flight mode. To get Mecha Godzilla into flight mode, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove his tail. I find this to be one of the harder steps for me because removing the tail is just scarier for me. So the first thing I do is just move the hands up, move the legs out a little bit, and then I kind of pull. I don't pull it this way, down this way. I find that to be a scarier way. It feels like it's going to break. Best way to do is just pull it outward. If it will cooperate. Whew! It's a very scary thing, man. And then you grab the new tail, which is slightly straighter than the other one, which doesn't really look it, but it is. Once you put it on, you'll see the difference. And then this one is just supposed to snap on. I'm sorry if this is out of focus or out of frame. Oh, this is not even attached. So now we have Mecha Godzilla reattached and the tail on. And as you can see, this tail completely touches the floor, as this one, when it is on Mecha Godzilla, kind of stays completely straight up. So now another one that I don't like doing when changing Mecha Godzilla into flight mode is removing the head and getting him ready into flight mode position. So basically you're going to want to pull this thing off, which I don't like doing either. I don't like pulling this figure apart. So then you get the new part and you plug this thing in. I really just don't like interchangeable parts, to be honest with you. And then you just plug it in. So I'm sorry again if like things are out of camera, or if I'm doing them off screen. It's because I can't see what I'm doing. The camera's behind my shoulder, and it's just very zoomed in. So now the next thing you're going to want to do is remove the hands. The hands are about the easiest part to do. Pull both hands off, bending and twisting, and then get the new hands and just pop those bad boys in. Whoa. My peg is a little loose, so it fights me. So if there's a jump cut, you know why. Yes! I got one! I got one! And now for the second one. So now we have Mecha Godzilla in flight mode. And this is really cool, because if you have one of these stronger Tamashii Nation stands, which I have just recently bought, you can get Mecha Godzilla in a flight mode. I'm not going to try to do it because this requires some really good balance, and I don't think this would work out with me trying to rush this like this, but you can get them in some type of pose, flight pose like this, if you have some better stands or whatever. But I think this is really cool. I'm glad that they added this. Whoosh. Whoosh. I'm an idiot. So for detailing, I wanted to talk about Mecha Godzilla's face sculpt. What a scary looking face sculpt. It is so cyborg, death, murder, I'm going to kill you in your sleep, glowy red eyes, just looking dangerous, scary, and just, it freaks me out, man. It just really does. He has this cold stare to him, which, you know, he had in the movies, which really is displayed in this figure. And it's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The one minor gripe I do have about the figure itself is the small teeth. So the very thin teeth that he does have. So if I could show you by opening the mouth, you can see how very thin the teeth are. You can see that if you do put anything in the mouth, it would destroy the teeth. It would absolutely break the teeth, no matter what you do. So it is very, very adamant. I am very adamant that you don't put anything in the mouth of Mecha Godzilla, or just be very fragile with the figure, because I feel like those teeth are going to snap at any point. For detailing in the body, I think this is really cool that they have like this black wash gunmetal color going on all around the figure. It's really cool. I really like how this came out. You can see it very present right here, very dark, very mysterious, and even on the back of the dorsal plates, very cool. I love how this figure picks up light and transfers it back. It reflects light beautifully. It's so shiny, even though it's made out of plastic. I heard somebody complain that this figure is an injustice because it's not made out of actual metal. There is die-cast metal in it. But God, what a beauty this figure is. Look at how nice that looks. Just fantastic. So for articulation, Mecha Godzilla has a good range of articulation. I had to remind myself that this is an older release. I really was expecting, when I got this figure, I was expecting to get Kiryu, and what I got was an older S.H. MonsterArts figure, and I had to remind myself that this figure came out almost 4 to 5 years ago. If I'm correct, if I'm not correct, please correct me in the comments down below. But this figure is very old, comparing to like Gamera, who just came out and has a ton of articulation compared to this guy. So let's start at the head. At the head, the figure does rotate all the way around, 365 degrees, and if you add the additional piece, he does look up as well, which is pretty cool. So at the arms, he pivots forward and back, and he has a double jointed elbow. Sadly enough, he does not have a bicep swivel. A bicep swivel really would have taken this figure over the top, but sadly this figure does not have one. So moving on from there, he does have wrist articulation, so it does move around freely. My hand is all up in the shot. Then from there, he has a great ab joint. He can move around freely all around, forward, back, side to side. He can kick really high up. Actually, you could swing it all the way around if you wanted to. All the way around. And he also has a double jointed knee. And he has foot articulation. So toe articulation, and then you have to move this forward to get the ankle rocker out of it. But I would be very careful because the feet are so heavy that the figure tends to drop the feet. Like the feet just fall off. And also there's no articulation in the tail. There was no articulation in the movie, so I don't think they would add it on. It just doesn't make sense. So there you go for articulation. Now let's get into some size comparisons. So to sum up this review in a whole, this figure is pretty cool, man. I honestly don't think that this figure is worth the $125 that I personally spent on this figure. I feel like if I would have got it when it originally came out, when it was about $60 or whatever it was when it came out initially, I would have felt better about having it. But honestly, I only have it because I need it in my collection, because Mecha Godzilla is one of my favorite characters out of the Heisei, whatever you want to call it, movies. So I had to go and get him. So if you want to go get one, honestly, I don't suggest getting one. I don't think they're going to do a re-release of this guy. I don't think they're going to remake this guy. So if you are going to get one, be very cautious to what you're going to do and how you're going to spend your money, honestly. Because this figure is a lot of money. Because $120, you can save up a little bit more, and you could probably get yourself a brand new Mecha King Ghidorah. You could probably save that and get yourself a... You could actually get yourself a new Godzilla 2000s that's coming out later on this May. Or you can save the rest of that money and actually get yourself a Godzilla Spitting Fire 2014 when it comes out later on this August, I believe. So... is this the greatest investment for you? It depends on if you're that big of a Mecha Godzilla fan, which I so happen to be. So it was a right call for me, but I don't know if it's the right call for you. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to add me up on Facebook. All my links to my social media are down below. And make sure to subscribe. Join the family. Join the Godzilla family. God, that's it. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.